Political correctness, very controversial in America. You want to respect every citizen, but at the same time, you want to be fair. Mackenzie Beggs was born a female with female body parts. Mackenzie has decided that she identifies as a male instead. So Mackenzie is transitioning from female to male and is taking testosterone. Now, the name is Mac. Mac is a high school wrestler in Texas. But because he was born a female, he competes against girls. But Mac's pretty big, and some say the testosterone is creating an unfair advantage. He's now won 2 consecutive state championships in the women's division.
I'm looking forward to college. I'm looking forward to being on a men's team, being in the men's division, working on my takedowns, being as strong as the guys. I'm already a couple of years behind, so I have a lot to catch up on. I trained too hard for haters to put me down. I worked too hard for that. I worked day in, day out. I've been through too much for anyone to put me down.
Joining me now, sociology professor Ann D'Alessio Parson. Professor, do you understand that Mackenzie, now Mac, is taking testosterone to become a man, and that's kind of unfair if a testosterone-taking person is competing against women?
I think that when it comes to these issues, we tend to focus on the ways in which we're policing boundaries. So my answer is, why don't we just listen to the situation, listen to what everyone involved wants to do. And in this case, he wants to compete with the boys. So I think that we should get behind that, those efforts to allow him to compete.
But if he wants to compete with the boys, and I guess he is not a he yet, there's still part of the transition. The boys don't want that. And then the girls that Mac keeps pinning, I mean, Mac's undefeated. He's 36-0 this year. 2 state championships. They don't want to wrestle Mac. It seems like everyone's not happy with the situation. Should we listen to them?
I mean, it sounds like I didn't hear evidence that the boys did not want to compete with him. Was that reported?
Well, she's
somewhere?
not allowed, or he is not allowed to compete against the boys.
Yeah. So that's really, I think, the question is, why is he not allowed?
Well, because
and what could we
the
do
birth certificate
to create a situation where
identifies this person as a female. And the person has female body parts.
Right? So in what ways can we create an environment so that we are keeping pace with the ways in which, gender is something that is fluid and flexible and changing in our society very rapidly? I understand that it makes some people uncomfortable, but I think that we can set aside our discomfort and understand that respecting the identities of individuals is much more important. And so prioritizing that in this case would mean listening to Mac, as well as, I think, the energy seems to be that competing with the boys' team would be a great solution. So I think we should get behind that.
Well, perhaps, but if you keep everything fluid, then men and women can just wrestle in different divisions, in different genders against each other, and it can keep changing. There has to be some policing, but let's move on. Purdue University has suggested that people not use the word man when they're writing. Mailman, policeman, because they think that's sexist and could be kind of offensive and biased. Do you think we should just remove the word man from all terminology?
Well, when we're talking about men, we should probably keep it in our language. In general, I think with language, we want to also understand that these things are fluid and changing over time, and be flexible with our minds. Again, it can cause some discomfort at first, but the potential rewards of changing that is creating a more inclusive society. So how hard is it to start thinking of male carrier, police officer? And when we are making those connections constantly in our language, we're also shifting our collective image of what it means to have these jobs.
Yeah. What if you say a first baseman in baseball? Is that wrong?
I don't know much about baseball, so I'm not sure what the different positions should be. That's not my area of expertise by any means. A third baseman. What do you think we could say that doesn't have a man in it?
Okay, well, so in softball, we're going to say second base woman, Second base person?
Second base person? Why not?
Okay.
Sounds more inclusive to me. And I think the question with a lot of this is why not? Why not try it out? Maybe it feels like a new language to some people,
that seems to be the philosophy of the left for most things. Why not? All right, Professor,
Well,
I have to run. It was great talking to you. And I didn't eat steak in front of you this time, so hopefully you're not too
offended. Did you read my
offended.
book, the book I gave you, Native Son? How are you doing on that?
I'm getting through it, and we'll talk about that
Coming
next
along.
time. Thank you.
Yes.